Hi there, my name is Grandmaster Nick Pert and I'm presenting this DVD on the Kalashnikov. So it's a mainline Sicilian option for black, and I think maybe I was first drawn to it because it's got quite a cool name, but the more I looked into the positions, the more I quite liked them for black. The reason being that there's a lot of thematic ideas. It's not a razor sharp theory in the sense that some of the other Sicilian lines might be. You very rarely just lose straight out the opening, and if you can remember the main ideas, you can normally get quite a good position, or certainly a very playable position for black. So I quite like the idea that there wasn't too much theory and it was very much ideas based. I think it's pretty sound for black. It's quite solid, but also offers a lot of opportunity to play for the win. I mean, the Sicilian in general was quite an attacking opening, leading to double-edged play. So I think after looking at a few different Sicilian lines, this is probably my favourite one. And hopefully, if you purchase this DVD, it will give you a good repertoire which you can play. There's actually been quite a lot of good work done on the Kalashnikov recently, so I was lucky to have some good material to look at, but also I gave quite a lot of new ideas as well, and share some of my own experience, some of my own games in the opening. So the Kalashnikov starts off like this: e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, and e5. I've also had a look at a couple of other options. For example, if white tries to play knight c3 to try and trick us, we've had a look at how to handle that move order. And another slightly tricky move order white might try to get into a Kalashnikov is knight c3, knight c6 and knight e2, aiming to play d4 next move. And again, had a quick look at that move order as well. So try to help you avoid getting caught out by tricky move orders. But very much the main line goes e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. And that's the focus of this DVD. So after c takes d4, knight takes d4, e5. The main move here is knight to b5, and certainly the critical test of the whole opening. But in the DVD, we covered all the other options really. Knight f5, knight f3, knight e2, knight b3, and knight takes c6 have all been covered. So hopefully give you a good idea how to play against those openings. Pretty much every knight move on the board, apart from knight e6, which is a kind of suicidal move. So we looked at all of those different options. After the move knight to b5, the Kalashnikov involves playing d6, stopping any knight d6 checks from happening. After black plays d6, again there are various options for white. The two main moves here are knight c3 and c4. So there's been a lot of focus on these two moves. But again, I've tried to cover all the alternatives for white in this position. They're generally not too scary, but they're worth knowing about. So I've looked at bishop g5. I've looked at bishop c4, a4, and g3 as well. All these different moves. Knight from b5 to c3, which looks a bit strange, but it has got a certain logic to it. And the move bishop e3, and some of the sidelines involved with this opening. So all those lines have been covered as well. I think it's fairly extensive for a DVD. After, for example, knight c3, which is the main line, black should play a6 because you need to now kick this knight out, and the knight can't retreat back to c3. So as soon as you see the move knight b1 to c3, you pretty much always play a6. Knight a3, and we're going to focus here on bishop e7. There are other moves that black can play here, b5 or bishop e6, so there's some potential to look at different lines. You're not stuck in just playing one variation, but I think this is probably the most reliable. So lots of different lines again have been considered here: bishop e2, g3, bishop e3, knight c4. All the different options have been considered. And similarly, after the move c4 here, which is the other major variation, we're going to play bishop e7 again. And now we're looking again at all the different options white has in this position. Moves such as knight back to c3, b3, g3, bishop d3, bishop e3, as well as bishop e2, as well as the main options such as knight to c3. So again, I think it's a fairly extensive coverage of the mainline Kalashnikov. Really, the starting position for the DVD is this position after the move e5. And from there, I tried to cover as much as possible and just try to reinforce the main thematic ideas rather than the hard theory. But there is a lot of theory there. So, if you're looking for a theoretical piece, this certainly has it all covered, but also focusing a lot on the ideas. And obviously talking a little bit about the sidelines as well. I think if you're looking for a repertoire for black, which is quite attacking and quite sound, this is a good choice. And it's not as theoretical as some of the mainline Sicilians. So hopefully by watching this DVD, you'll be able to pick up at least the main line. And once you've got the main line, even if you've never played Sicilian before, then you only need to focus on the sidelines. So probably learning all the sidelines is about the same amount of work as learning the main line. But at least if you've got your main line covered, then you can start going through all the different sidelines. Since I've started playing the Kalashnikov, I mean, I've played other Sicilian variations as well. I've just really enjoyed the positions. I really enjoyed the games. I find it's a very good way to just get into the game, just get a double-edged position where you can try and outplay each other without getting bogged down by too much theory, and also avoiding these quite dull positions which can arise from other openings. So for me, the Kalashnikov is a very interesting opening. People who know me well know that I also like the French defence, which also offers black a lot of double-edged play, and I think Sicilian is a great way to get double-edged games as well. Hopefully, if you're interested, you'll think about buying this DVD and learn how to play the main lines, a lot of the theory and also a lot of the ideas.